Well, guys, that escalated quickly.
Every once in a while, my housemate will walk in my room and she'll catch me playing with my lightsaber alone in my room.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Russell from the Way We Nerd podcast, and I'm here in my quarantine room. Outside, you can hear the ice cream truck music playing.
Woo! I am John Hudson, otherwise known as Hudsimus Prime with The Way We Nerd.
I'm Daniel Villalobos, and nobody's with me because we're still doing the social distancing thing, quarantine, sheltered, whatever you want to call it.
Bringing this podcast to you from inside of our house because as much of the world is already experiencing, COVID-19 is running rampant. People are getting very, very sick. You need to wash your hands, not touch your face like I just did. And a lot of you are probably out there looking for something to do right now. Now, I did see the other guys' videos, Mr. Dan, Mr. Kyle, and Mr. Joshua Potter, Professor. You guys had some great suggestions over there. Loved every single one of them. With a few exceptions. Nothing, like I said, it was bad, just different tastes for me. Kyle, unfortunately, I will not be buying the Apple Plus streaming system, whatever the hell it is, Apple Store, Apple, whatever, because there's just too many things to buy already. And Netflix, Hulu, and Disney Plus already have my hat trick of wallet funds, so they're going to be there. But good news, this virus keeps going on. Apple just might buy Disney, so before long, that Mankind show may end up on Disney Plus. So, hey, silver linings, right?
I finally finished Westworld Season 2. I liked 3.5 episodes of the season, really. Basically, I just liked the samurai stuff with Tandy Newton and the awesome, I wish I could remember his name, but the awesome guy from Last Samurai and a few other movies. Lost, he was also in. I was so happy to see him in general, doing what he does best, playing a samurai. And then there was the stuff with the Native Americans. That stuff was all good. I really enjoyed that. And everything else, I was just like, eh. But I'm still going to watch Season 3. I haven't started it yet, but I'm still going to watch Season 3.
And on top of that, Kyle and Dan, not really so into the Westworld 3 thing. I mean, Season 1 was great. Fine, loved it. A little drawn out, but the thing got spoiled pretty early. And then on top of that, in Season 2, they really went into the man with the black hat, which was great. Loved that. It was fantastic. He's probably my favorite character in the entire thing. But now that his story has kind of run its course, I'm not really sure I want to see humans versus robots as they try to, raise themselves in society for the 15th time. I mean, Terminator did it great. Matrix did it pretty good. Just don't care. Now, I reserve the right to change my mind because you never know. It could be good. Something could go crazy or like, whoa, some story element goes off the chain. We are talking about some Michael Crichton stuff over here, so he's always one of my favorite authors. But ultimately, what I've seen so far, not into it. Probably won't check it out. Bring me more kind of tigers or dinosaurs or anything like, maybe show that, oh man, we had Eastworld and Westworld and Jurassic World. What?
Okay, so here's my closet. Get ready. Look at this mess. These are my boxes of toys that I'm going to open. And this shelf here, I actually spent time organizing my Power Ranger collectibles. These are the ones I'm keeping. And then the collectibles on this side are kind of the ones that I'm going to sell. Like that stuff. There's this book called Spark Joy. You might have heard about it. It's Marie Kondo. It's about decluttering. And there's this chapter in here on collectibles. So what I've been doing was declutter my closet full of collectibles. And I'm trying to keep the ones that spark joy and discard the ones that do not.
Essentially, there is a book series out there. It does deal with a plague, since that's kind of on everybody's mind right now. And it is under the guise of what I'll call the Marvel Versus series. Now, it does have a bit of a zombie vibe to it, but these are not zombies. Effectively, it is a plague that was mistakenly unleashed on the world by Punisher. Thank you, vigilantism. And now, essentially, everybody in the world, except for a select few of immune individuals, are cannibalistic, savage, think Neanderthal level intelligence with the desire and urge to eat and crush human flesh. So they're developing into tribes, they're being very warlike, and it's more of a 28 Days Later than a zombie tale, but since Robert Kirkman already gave us the amazing Marvel Zombies, at least parts 1, and The Return I enjoyed, everything else in the middle kind of goes... But, that's for you to judge if you enjoy it. Hey, I'm not throwing shade on you, wasn't personally my cup of tea.
I never really got into Marvel Zombies, John. I don't know, never really my thing. I guess I'm just not really into zombies. I couldn't get into Walking Dead either. But just not my thing.
But within the Marvel Universe series, it does take place in 3 different tales with 3 different characters. The first one was going to be Punisher. His story takes place after the initial outbreak and this disease takes over. After that, you have Wolverines, which is my personal favorite, and the one that I have awaiting you guys to see right here. Now, I know we don't have the best camera quality over here, but, oh, yep, look at that. There we go. Ooh, well, it's in backwards because of the whole mirror thing, but you guys can read, you know what I'm saying. But I do enjoy this. It's a atypical stance on the typical zombie format. Like I said, there's a Punisher one. This is the Wolverine one that takes place while the outbreak is occurring. And then finally, there is an Avengers one starring Hawkeye that takes place a little after or kind of during Wolverines. So that is a fun read if you haven't had a chance to do it already. Deals with the plague, and kind of topical. I mean, people aren't coming back and eating, human skin and stuff, at least outside of articles on The Onion. So that has not happened yet. If it does, you will find out either here or from some unfortunate TV clip that will be dug up as part of your RPG adventure in the future.
Anyway, here it goes. We're going to go through these boxes. One of the things that I've been doing when decluttering my collectibles is actually opening my toys. Taking them out of the minted carded packaging and actually playing with them and putting them on display. I'll show you what I've got. Okay, here it is. These are all my opened toys and just cards and cards of packages. My episode 1s, Shadows of the Empire, Power of the Force, vintage collection, Attack of the Clones, and more left to be opened or to sell. And then these are the ones I'm not going to open because I think they're very collectible. And then there's my Boba Fett.
Now, if you are looking for something on Netflix, I'm not too happy with you right now because I went to go watch Lord of the Rings because we got a lot of time indoors right now. And guess what? You got Two Towers, you got Return of the King, but you don't have Fellowship. Now, why do you not have Fellowship? That is literally your starter stone. I mean, don't get me wrong. Two Towers and Return of the King are clearly 2 of the better ones. But you don't have the one to get your feet wet into the franchise. You took it out, and now I can't watch The Lord of the Rings. And granted, it is time for the extended edition, but unfortunately, I'm a large family. There is one extended edition complete set trilogy to go around, and I do not have it on this coast. So forgive me for that. So Netflix would have to do if they had it. So as of right now, during the quarantine, emergency, pandemic, whatever it is, Netflix, you screw it up. You screw it up, Netflix.
Sad about Fellowship of the Ring, though, bro. I mean, how are you gonna have two Lord of the Rings movies on there? Like, it's the trilogy is incomplete without one. Even though they're all great movies on their own, and I disagree with you about Fellowship being the weakest one because it's my favorite. But maybe it's because it's the one that kind of started it all. When I first saw it in theaters, I just remember how amazing it was. That first trailer I saw, just them walking over the top of the mountain between the rocks and hearing that epic music, and that was all I needed, and I was like, oh, I'm so in. And I had never read Lord of the Rings at that time. I had read The Hobbit, and that was it. And I watched the cartoon, but that's all I knew of Tolkien's world, Middle-earth. And yeah, I love Fellowship. I think it's the best one. And I even though I love the second 2, like I even like the Hobbit movies. Obviously, they're not as good as the Lord of the Rings trilogy, but the 6 movies together are really nice. Really nice marathon. There's one I might do, even though I just did it recently over the holidays because that's usually it's mine and my old roommate Angela, our holiday tradition. She started way before I did, but no, I take that back. We just have been doing it separately, but then we did it together when we were roommates. But I've been doing it for the longest time because they feel like Christmas movies because that's when they came out. And I remember after the end of Return of the King, all I could think about was like after the 15 endings. I was like, oh, there's no more Lord of the Rings movies to look forward to, because there's one to look forward to every year, just like Star Wars, and now we don't have that for a while.
And then there's my autographed Kelly Marie Tran Rose Tico figure. And then I've got like Bodhi look. I'm gonna open this later. And just these are my episode 1 toys I opened, and I put them in a box. And then these are my Attack of the Clones. That's all of my Power of the Force. There's my display.
But if you find yourself on Netflix, there is a show or two on there. Kypo, Kypo? I believe Kypo. She's pink with white hair. You'll see her when you see her. But basically, she is another future apocalyptic world scenario kind of situation where humans are now underground, animals have all mutated above. If you used to be tiny and cute, now you're huge and cute and probably dangerous. And if you used to be, somewhat big, not too bad, but somewhere in the middle, like your skunks, your mandrills, your monkeys, your alligators, these animals have now developed anthropomorphic features. So now they're running around like humans and they hate humans. So fun sense of humor, interesting show. If you like that, check it out as well.
I agree with him. I liked Kippo and the Wonder Beast. I keep saying the Wonder Beast. I'm pretty sure that's right. That's also on Netflix. So you should check that out.
Meanwhile, I've been watching Clone Wars on Disney Plus, and I've actually watched all of it. So I'm caught up on Clone Wars. And then there's my sequel trilogy display of Star Wars figures.
And finally, for the video game lot out there, I know that if you are a fan of Nintendo Switch or of Xbox One, there are tons of sales out right now to accommodate the quarantine set like we have in most of this country and around the world as of right now. I'm sure Sony has some too, but I don't touch Sony stuff for the most part. So, hater to love it, not really my system. I'm more about the couch co-op, and unfortunately Nintendo and Xbox have that in spades. But of the games that are on there, I do recommend one personally if you are looking for some co-op fun with some friends, or if you happen to be quarantined with the right group of guys and or gals. It is called Gang Beasts. It is a fun 1-4 versus combat where you are going to be ragdoll dynamicking yourself against your opponent in a way to throw them out of the arena, push them off the skyscraper, throw them from the moving truck, or step on their hands while they are clinging desperately to some scaffolding, hoping not to die and lose that round of the game. Gang Beast is the fun interaction and colorful combat that you need to get you through tumultuous times. Whew! On top of that, Xbox One also just released a game called Bless Unleashed, and while I have not had a chance to play it, it is their first take at a MMORPG directly exclusive, or at least starting, on the Xbox One. And if you do want to take a shot on it, it will not break your storage bank, as it is only 21 gigabytes, so try that one out.
I really need a Switch. Video games. I usually own all 3 systems. Right now I have an Xbox One, I have a PS4, and I have a PS3 in my room. I actually have Angie's PS3 here too. Sorry, Angie. We'll get it to you as soon as this whole quarantine stuff is over. I'll get it back to you. She let me borrow it because I didn't have a Blu-ray player for a little while before I got my Xbox One. Thanks to my PS4, CD feeder died and won't take any more DVDs or CDs or anything, or discs. But anyway, I digress again. So back to video games. So I have been really immersed. I took advantage of the couple sales that they had on Xbox Live for the quarantine. I bought Assassin's Creed Odyssey, $130 version of the game on sale for $30. I couldn't resist. I had to buy that. It came with Assassin's Creed 3, which in my opinion is the best Assassin's Creed. It's a series I've played almost all the games. At least all the games are on major consoles. I didn't play any of the handheld games, but I played most of them that have been on the console games. And wow, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is amazing. It takes place during Roman times, and I am super into it. I had to stop myself from playing it. I've only played it one full day. Well, I played 6 hours, a cumulative 6 hours yesterday. So I needed to take a break. And I literally today I just started playing a little bit this morning. And I beat a couple missions, and the title screen came on. Like, all the stuff I had done in those 6 hours or basically the introduction to the game. And I'm just getting started.
And I want to show you one last thing. Every once in a while, my housemate will walk in my room and she'll catch me playing with my lightsaber alone in my room. I'm talking about these. The Galaxy's Edge custom made lightsabers. So I'm usually on my bed playing with these things, and they're super cool. So if you haven't seen these already, these custom blade lightsabers, you could just take them apart and I don't know, just custom make them. If you YouTube them, you'll see videos of people building their custom blades. I'll show you my kyber crystal collection. So there's a kyber crystal that comes out. There's a little green crystal inside. See right there, it's green. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, I'll pull it out. It's a green crystal. So these are my kyber crystal collection. There's a special black one, and I'll show it to you. Yep, there it is. A black kyber crystal. That's all I got to show for you. I still have a bunch of stuff to declutter. And that's how I'm spending my time in quarantine. The great thing about this is the reason why I do the decluttering is to revisit my childhood and to let go of the things that I don't need anymore. So it's a very cleansing process. And so like I have too much stuff, and I just want to move forward and make room for new things in my life.
But I do want to say thank you so much for bringing a little bit of your, or sharing a little bit of your time with me here today. I know we're all going through a lot, but we will get through it together. There's been disease after disease before, and we have always come out on top of it because we have persevered, because at the end of the day, that is what humans do. So while humans are doing what they're doing, you do your part. You wash your hands, you social distance, you make sure to take care and be mindful of who you are interacting with during this tumultuous time, and we're all going to be fine.
I am Daniel Villalobos of The Way We Nerd, and we will see you next time, everybody, because we love you, and stay safe, stay clean, and stay healthy.
I'm Russell Fung with the Way We Nerd podcast, and please stay safe and practice social distancing. Till next time, may the force be with you.
Coming at you live from Prime Pad 04. This has been John Hudson, also known as Hudsimus Prime. Stay safe out there, and until next time, good luck and Godspeed.